Hello, hello, hello. I am so sorry I am late getting started. I was busy working on something and then I realized that I was late. So I apologize. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds just to get things worked out. Here I am. Little bit discombobulated. In the meantime, while I'm getting myself bobulated, please go ahead and camera. There we go. Go ahead and put any comments in the chat. Put any questions in the questions and answers, and I will be ready very shortly. All right. Okay. Video. OBS. Start video. There we go. Hello, here I am. Good morning, Janelle. Bum. Where are we? Let's go to there. All right. Who have we got in the room? Introduce yourselves. Let us know where you're coming from. And we are going to get started. I'm going to get and I apologize for the very rough look. I was Eddie from Houston. I lived in Houston in 1993 for a year in 77005 West University area. I lived there for a year when I was much younger and less rougher than I look right now. All right, we are recording. Um, Conroe is north, right? North of Houston, I think, if I remember rightly. This meeting, yes. Okay, great. All right, what I wanted to do to talk about today is a few things. First of all, how many of you in the room is a club member? You are either paying $37 a month or $47 a month to be a member of my club. Let me see a show of hands or a woohoo, I'm in, or whatever. That includes people that are in my done with you ecosystem that automatically get the club for free. I'm going to get this out of the way first of all, purely because I don't want to be talking about it the whole webinar. And so let me share this. Let me share this and move this. Oh my goodness. One day I'm going to surprise you all and just be like organized for this. But the club is this thing over here, and it allows you to use a chat bot and brainstorm your idea to get an amazing initial prompt for your new builds. It allows you to go through and look at your prompt history. There's a whole load of prompt snippets in here. So when I create a great prompt for someone, I put it in here. There is the video vault. I'm going to cover book calls in a minute, which has all of my videos, including this stop wasting time video, which I 100% strongly advise everybody to watch this. This is talking about my uh, three-step prompt recipe. Oh my goodness. And so please, please, please watch this. And then the really important, really nice thing is this new Edge backup. So when you are working in Supabase and you have a whole load of edge functions. So let's go over to edge functions here. Here are all the edge functions that run the club's website. There's lots of them. And then you prompt to get something changed, and Famous goes off and changes it. And now things are broken. There is no backup of this edge function from before, and I have solved that for you by adding, oops, not this, adding the edge backup system. So you enter in your access token. If you've got access to multiple companies, organizations in Supabase, it will list all of the organizations you have access to. And then let's see if we can find the club here. Here's the 32 edge functions that run the club. And then you can just go ahead, click backup now, and it will download a zip file of all of those 32 functions. So if something goes wrong, you can then take the code out of the zip file and put it back over the top of the original, which is super powerful. So this was launched, the club was launched way back in June. And for the launch, it was $37 a month, and then it went up to $47 a month in July. However, last night when I wasn't sleeping, I have reduced the price to $27 per month, and everyone that's whether they're on 37 or 20 or 47 are now only paying 27. All new members will only pay 27. The difference is I've taken out the 15-minute call because no one was using it. In the last month, I have done one 15-minute call, which was included in the price. And no one's using the 15-minute call. So what I'm doing is I'm reducing the price to include the Discord channel. I'm including the prompt builder. I'm including the Supabase function backup, and the calls are now, if you want to book a 15-minute call with me, you can, and that's available. I'm still working with it, but that will be available here. You'll be able to book a slot, and then you'll be able to pay for 15 minutes or for an hour, depending on what you want. So this is not quite working as well as it should. But for example, it's telling you that there's a call available in 22 minutes time, but I'll be busy on this webinar still in 22 minutes time. So I've still got a little bit work with that. I was hoping to get it fixed before now, but I didn't. But I will get that sorted very soon. So how do you join the club if you're not a club member? Let me just log out. And then go back to the home page. And so in here, you click on get started for free. You sign up for an account, and then it will give you the option to sign up for the monthly once you have an account set up. And as I say, it's now $27 per month. If you are in this call and you're already a member, your subscription has automatically been reduced to $27, and your next bill will be $27. You're now saving $10 to $20 a month. And so you're welcome. All right, let's move on. What I wanted to cover today is the ability to have your app hosted elsewhere. And so that's what I'm going to be covering. And we're going to look at how we move AI app builders, which is currently hosted. Here it is, hosted with, actually, this is not the club. This is my coaching site. Well, maybe we do my coaching site first before the club, because the club is a little bit more complex. So here is the my AI app dot builders. I'll put that web address, AI app dot builders. That's the address that it's currently on. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this to Netlify. Netlify is this system here. And now I am not too sure of my total costs with Netlify, because I have only been using them for just over a week. However, I believe it is going to work out about a third of the cost of leaving it with Famous. Now, this is not a good idea if you're still in development, moving it somewhere else. But if you're done with development and you want to downgrade um, your account to something less, and or you want to avoid um, some of the hosting fees, then this is a good path for you. So here's how we are going to do it. First of all, you're going to choose what site we're going to do, and so we're gonna do this one here, which is my basically it's my site that sells my various services. So my Done With You service, my Done For You service, the club. It has the quiz to help you work out what uh, what is what. So let's just go ahead and let me just see what this question is that's popped up. Do you have to be a member on deal? No, no, this is not, Bessie, this is not a deal system. This is purely helping you with Famous.AI, and it is a completely separate membership system. It does not involve a deal whatsoever. I do have a deal white label, but so does most of the Famous community, and so I don't sell that. But this is purely the club is purely designed for people that want that support. So you also get access to my Discord channel. There's a private Discord channel where you can ask questions. So you may not want to be jumping on a call. You may have a very simple question, and I'll give you the next prompt to do, or whatever. Now, bearing in mind, I am on I am on calls quite a lot. So if you ask a question, it might be 6-9 hours before you get a response. But that's what that Discord channel here is for. Anyway, let's go back. We're going to be moving this hosting over to our Netlify account. So first of all, we're going to go to code, and then we're going to click on download, and that's going to download us a zip file. And the zip file is now in my downloads directory. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to oh my goodness, GitHub. I definitely need to work less hours. I really do. We're going to go to GitHub, and in GitHub, we're going to create a new repository. So right now, we're in my GitHub account. Now, I actually use the GitHub client on my Mac, but I'm going to show you how to do it with the desktop, the web-based version. So we're going to create a new repository. This repository is going to be called AI App Builders. Okay, and that's available, so that's good. The description is AI App dot Builders coaching site. Okay, the availability, you should, in most cases, always set this to private. If you set it to public, anybody else will have access to your code. And then we're going to go ahead and create the repository. Okay, we've now created our repository. We could add collaborators to that repository if we want to. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to share my GitHub app. So let's stop this sharing. And oh my goodness, look how rough I look. And then we're going to share, where's GitHub? GitHub. Do we even have GitHub open? I do have GitHub open. So why do I not see GitHub to share? Come on. They need a search. I've got so many windows open. Maybe they have a GitHub desktop. Here we go. So this is my GitHub app. Where's it gone? This is my, no, that's the GitHub browser. Here's the GitHub app. And so right now we're connected to a different repository, one I was doing before. So we're going to open up a new repository, which is AI app. That's one. Let me file clone repository is what we want. And then we want AI app. And there is AI app builders. So it's not the one aiappbuilders.com. It's this one here. So we're going to go ahead and clone that down to my local drive. Okay, and now it's on my local drive. And I'm going to need, let me just switch my notifications off because I'm going to need, oh, it is already switched off. Okay, good. I'm going to probably need to share my whole screen here. Something I really don't do very often, but it's going to be easier with jumping from one side to the other. So let's share that desktop. Awesome. And then we're going to go to our downloads and downloads. And in here, we have that coaching app zip. We're going to open that zip file up. That's got all of our files in it. And then in another window, we're going to open up our GitHub folder. And in here, we should see this AI app builders folder with nothing in it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the zip, take all of the content from that zip file, which is what we downloaded from Famous, and drop it into the folder on the GitHub folder. Now, this you might be wondering, my goodness, this is an awful lot of work. And this is what I've been telling everyone for the last few weeks, is that yes, moving it from one from Famous to somewhere else is not as easy as just pressing a publish button. At least not until they connect to GitHub, which is coming, but it's not going to be very soon. And so here we now have all of the files in our GitHub folder. We can see it's under the GitHub tree, and then AI app builders is there. We're going to come back to the GitHub client, and now you can see that it's found all of these new files that haven't been pushed up to the cloud yet. And so we're going to give it a summary. This is required to be able to commit it to GitHub, and we're going to call this initial build. And then we're going to commit that and publish it to GitHub. So now it's sending those files up to GitHub. Okay, and now that's done. Next, we need to go to our Netlify, and we're going to go ahead and go to projects, and we're going to create a new project. Let me move this chat off the screen here. Oh, I've got a couple of questions to make sure that I'm not losing people. Why two and not just GitHub? Why are the two repositories? Because I have two different sites that are very similar. I have aiapp.builders, which is my coaching site, and I have aiappbuilders.com, which is my Linktree site. And so that's why there's two. And I tested this process before I did this call with the aiappbuilders.com site first, just so I knew that what I was doing, and I wasn't just going to be falling flat on my face while I was showing you how to do it. So that's why I have two that are very similar in name, but they are actually two different sites. You would do just one. Yes, absolutely. That's correct. Okay, so we're going to create a new project and we're going to import an existing project, and then it asks you, where is that project? And obviously we're going to tell it it's in GitHub. I've already connected my GitHub, but if you haven't, it's gonna ask you to connect GitHub. And then it's saying no repositories found, and that's because everything's under my organization and not my personal account. And so now we're going to be looking for the one I just built, which I am not seeing. So let's search AI app. And hope, no, that's the other one. This this webinar is being recorded, and so if I'm going too fast, you can just go over the recording. It will be on YouTube later today, for you to be able to go over a little bit slowly. But right now, my app isn't actually here, so that's always a good start. Let's go to GitHub. Where's GitHub gone? Here's GitHub. And hopefully we should see. Yeah, all the code is there. AI app builders, it's private. Does it say what account it's under? Ah, okay. It's under my personal account. So let's go back and switch to my personal account and configure Netlify. So here we've already installed it on my organization account, but because I created that in my personal account, we're also going to install Netlify onto my personal account as well. Super easy, just as if you were logging in with Google or whatever, you're logging in with GitHub and then giving it permission. And now I see my AI app builders here. So if I search for AI app builders, I see that's the one I created 4 minutes ago, and under my organization is the other one that I did yesterday when I was rehearsing for showing you. So this is the one that we want to connect. The project name is AI app builders, and then it will tell you whether that's already taken. And because the other AI app builders took it, it's saying that this project name is not available. And so I'm going to change it to AI app coaching. This doesn't matter because I'm not going to use this address to promote it. I'm going to be using a domain that I'm going to attach to this in the same way as we do for everything else. Okay, so we leave all of this by default, and then we deploy AI app coaching, and now it's sending over the site. It's rebuilding it similar to what it does with Famous, except now we've got 2 extra steps every time we want to update it. Okay, once we're ready, we can go to domain management and we can add a domain similar to how you do with Famous. And but for now, we're going to be looking at this test address. Okay, if we go to deploys, it shows us deploys that are happening. So it is deployed at 11:24, so it's a minute ago. And we should now be able to open up a new tab, and boom, now our website is here. Now I know that when I click on quiz quiz isn't going to work. And these are some little quirks, quiz quirks, that are going to happen when you move to a different host. So when I click on quiz, oh, the quiz does work. Okay. I click on, oh, okay. this is showing me up now because this is working. Now the thing I was going to show you is that sometimes paths or routes such as /club don't work, and you need to then prompt for it to create an underscore redirect file. And so in public, we already have an underscore redirect file. It already created that file. In the first site that I did as a test, this underscore redirect file didn't exist. And so all I had to do was, please create a /public/underscore redirect file, and it did it for me and everything worked. But this had already created it, so we didn't have that problem. Now, our website is on Netlify. And so if we were done with development, we could now go to publish and then to manage. And then in manage, what we can do is we can remove some of these domain names and then add them to the Netlify site. So I'm not going to do that for these right now because obviously I don't want the site to go down. You guys are looking at it at the moment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to domain management and I'm going to add a domain, which is AI app.builders, but I'm going to give it a subdomain of new, just so you can see how I'm setting it up. So new.ai app builders, we're verifying it, and then now it's asking me to set up a TXT record within GoDaddy. So we're now going to go over to GoDaddy. We're going to make sure that we are logged into GoDaddy. We're going to go to the correct domain because this is that other AI app builders domain. Just to really confuse you, I have lots of AI app builder style domains. Here is the other one. We're going to go to DNS, and this is exactly the same way getting it added to Famous. We're going to add a new text, add a new DNS record. It's a text record. That is the that is the name. And then back to here. This is the value. And so we paste that in here, and then we click save. And now we click add subdomain, and it will go off and check that that information is correct. So it's still waiting for external DNS. So we can go, and now it's asking me to create a CNAME for the domain as well. So the first thing, the text record, is purely to show that I own the domain. And now we're going to create a CNAME, which is just as easy. Back in GoDaddy, we can click on add new record, click on CNAME. The host is new.ai app.builders, and then the path, the value is AI app coaching.netlify.app. And then we click save, and boom, it is now set up down here somewhere. Okay, so let's go back to where's Netlify gone? Here, and we can click close on here. And if we refresh this page, now this new.ai app builders, we click on it, and it's not working yet because the SSL certificate hasn't been set up. In fact, it warns down here, we could not provision the certificate for your new domain. Okay. Verify DNS. Provision. Oh, there we go. DNS was successful. Provision certificate. And that is the SSL certificate that you need so that when you go to your site, you don't get this security issue. In Famous, again, Famous does this automatically for you. It creates your SSL certificate. It allows you to easily add the domain. So there's sometimes it is just worth staying where you are. And there is a number of sites that I'm just going to leave where they are and not go through this process. What I'm hoping to do here, Selena, if you have a question, if you can put it in the questions and answers box, that'll be great. I can come to you with that. But what I'm hoping to get across to you is for those technical people that have got the patience to do this, this is possible to be able to take your site from Famous and put it onto a proper host. For the rest of you, the hassle factor of doing this may outweigh the extra costs of leaving it with Famous. And so, like I say, there are certain sites I'm going to be leaving with Famous. I'm still developing them, or I keep coming up with new ideas. And so I don't want to have to go through this update process every time. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you've set it up, it's actually a little bit easier to update, but still not as easy as going to Famous and going to the site and clicking publish and clicking publish. It can't be easier than that. Okay, let's look at some of these questions. So this will connect to Supabase automatically, or do we need to? No, this is going to take your whole site as it's working now and move it to a different host. But all of the configuration, the Supabase configuration and everything else is not going to be affected. That's still going to be connected. And so, yeah, and this site, where is it now? This site over here is now running under this new address. It's using Supabase for a number of these things. They're stored in the database, and yet it's still working. I didn't reconfigure it. I didn't have to reconnect it. It's all done. What would make you change the site? What would be the reasons? Change the site? I don't. Do you mean make changes to the site to keep it fresh so that people keep coming back because new stuff is added? Or I don't know. Switch from Famous. It could be anything from the costs are high. As your site scales, those costs are going to scale. And, you know, sometimes if you can reduce the cost by 20% and you're paying $200, $300 a month for hosting, that 20% is worth moving it. And so, like I said, this isn't for everybody. You know, I have clients that have booked me for an hour just so I can help them move their site, because that $197 for an hour is cheaper than, you know, is they get that back in the first month for the savings. Other people, they're just happy where they are, and that's fine. Like I say, some of the things that I'm keeping where they are. So that is moving your site to Netlify. Also, would you be able to publish the app on your own sites like WordPress? Doing all of, no, this isn't WordPress. You're in a completely different ball game when you're creating apps to adding a WordPress plugin, or, you know, or whatever. This is not a little PHP's app that you're uploading. You will need certain functions in the server to make that work. So yeah, this is completely different, which is why I'm recommending Netlify. I haven't even set up an affiliate link for Netlify yet. And so yeah, it's It's all very, very new. Hey, Danny, how do you update the app? Ah, very good question. So let me go back to sharing my, I guess I share my desktop again. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to Famous, and let's make an obvious change so we can see it changing. So here's the Netlify site, and on the done for you page it says sorry, done with you page, it says done with you calls. Okay, so we're going to just go and we're going to edit done with you. Here is the done with you title. What's this? Is this it? Just move this out the way. Here. Okay, done with you calls. What can I change here? Expert Marc P. Summers, the Famous.AI expert. Okay, so we've added a piece of text here, and we're going to press save. Okay, so let me compare how easy it is if exactly, Bill. I would not exit unless you really, 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 really need to because you want it somewhere else or whatever. Prices are changing. Alex and the team are still finding that right balance of profitability. Things are costing a lot of money to host and a lot of money to have the most powerful AI app builder known to man, which is Famous. So things will change, and that's why I'm, for the most part, keeping my stuff with Famous because it just makes sense that I can press this publish button, and then click this publish button, and then wait, what, 5 seconds, and then go to my site and go to the done with you page, and now it has that change that I just added onto it. But here is how I need to do it with Netlify. I go to code. I click on the download button. It downloads a zip file. I then have to open up my GitHub folder, and also I need to, where's my zip file? Hold on. Go and get that zip file. That's now unzipping the zip file. My whole computer is running dirt slow doing all this as well. Let's do it over here so we can actually see it happening. So here is the folder. We're going to unzip this. Now we've got a new set of files. We're going to grab these files and move them into my GitHub folder, which is over here. It's then going to ask me, do I want to overwrite them? Yes, I do. Then we need to go and find our GitHub desktop, and it shows you the file that I just changed, which is this hero section file. And so I need to give it a reason for the updated hero. I need to commit those files. I need to push it to the origin. And so now GitHub just pushed those files up, and then it's going to auto deploy by itself. See here? It already detected that I pushed it up, and now it's building it. But instead of a publish button, one publish button, I now have to do what, 2 minutes worth of work to get it live. Now when I go here, this is the Netlify site. This is the old site. We refresh this, and now this site has been updated. So until Famous connects to GitHub, which is going to be a while, there are multiple steps. for you to update this and get it connected properly. So I think it was Danny that asked about updating. That's the process. You take down the zip file, you then upload that to your Git repository. So commit the changes of those files to your Git repository, and then as soon as you pushed it up to the repository, Netlify is connected to that repository and says, the repository's got updated, I'll update the site. So you don't need to do anything more once you've pushed it to GitHub. So that is how you do it. Let me know. Oh, there are some questions. Let me see what these questions are. What do we do if every time I attempt to go live, something changes in my site I am building? That's a bit ambiguous. What is changing? You need to make sure you're prompting correctly and putting in guardrails. I would like to change this, but don't change anything else. In my YouTube channel, let me share my browser again. I published just yesterday. It might have been the day before, actually, because this week has just kind of rolled into each other. But on my YouTube channel, I'll put this address in the chat for you. Over here, paste the if you go to this video here, stop wasting time with bad prompts. This is why things are changing. And that is because people are prompting badly. And this, I believe it's like 4 minutes long. Communication. 4 minutes and 23 seconds video, which will solve all of that. It's imperative that people start prompting correctly. And that video will train you how to do it. So there are quite a few people on this webinar. If you all go and watch that video, that will help you out with that. Okay, Selena, I would like to know how you added all of the interface and functionality on the app. Mine is still just a page with no working buttons. What should I do? Also, sorry for having the most questions. You're a good teacher. Well, thank you for the compliment, and never apologize for having too many questions. That is the whole point of these webinars. Famous is amazing at providing you guys with the support and training that you need. There are 9 sessions in the week to help you and the ecosystem understand what's going on. I do this webinar for them. I don't actually work, for those of you who don't know, I don't work for Famous. I'm just an independent expert that absolutely loves Famous. I have been tempted and wooed by other systems, and I just keep telling them no, because I love Famous and I love where it's going. The build and the progress that we are making as an app is amazing. So how do you make your interface functional? Give me Selena, give me your public link in the chat, and I'm going to show you how this prompting style, and you're going to watch this video after this call, this prompting style is going to help you. But in the meantime, give me your public URL and I'm going to bring it up live. There's so many steps. Do you have all these steps written down that I can refer to? Bessie, I don't, but what I am going to do is create more SOPs, to do instructions that will go into the club. So the club is now going to be more accessible to everybody. The price is cheaper, and so and it's going to have more in it. And so if you're not a member of the club, join the club. If you are a member of the club, in the Discord channel, in the private club section of the Discord channel, just say, hey, Mark, create me a a step-by-step guide on how I publish to Netlify, and I will do that for you and publish it in the club. So right now I don't. I worked all this out in the last couple of days, and my plan was to show you here. It's recorded. You can watch over the recordings slowly. But I will create an absolutely Selena, not the project URL. I need the publish URL. So go to publish and then give me the deploy pad URL, please. Okay, awesome. All right. What other questions do we have? We only have 14 more minutes, which is pretty cool. Does anybody have any questions on the club, or is everybody members already? If you're not, then let me know if you have any questions. Perfect, Selena, that's what we need. Okay, so you have your app. Let me mark this question as done. You have your app, but none of the features are working, you say. So let's Isaac, I'll put the link for the club in the chat. Just to let you know, when you do sign up for the club, you don't automatically get joined into the Discord channel. You do need to join the Discord channel and send me the special code that you get sent by email so that I can add you into the private channel in my Discord. Okay, I've sent you, Isaac, I've sent you the link. Oh, it's live, done. All right, so choose a scan type. Underarm scan. Oh, no one wants to scan underneath my arm. Oh dear. Lesion check. Okay. So is this going to be an iPhone, a mobile app, or a progressive web app? Because right now you've created it as a web app. So this will work if I opened it on my phone. In fact, let me even do that. Because that will be better. Let's do this. I haven't seen anyone do this on a webinar before, but let's do this. We'll stop sharing this and we'll start sharing this. I am not going to scan my armpit live on a webinar. So you should now be able to see my phone. And so, all right, let's do a lesion check. Start camera. It's asking my permissions. Great. Allow. Oh, hello. Now, what I don't have is the ability to swap my camera around. So, yeah, that's really scary. I do have a weird thing on my arm. Where's my weird thing on my arm gone? There. Yeah, but it's really hard to see with the camera. And so you want to prompt in the camera control, please put a flip camera button so that I can change the camera angle. So that's just a prompt. Watch that video, Selena. It will tell you what you need to do. You basically, I need to turn this video off because I do look so bad. And there's no back buttons. So you're going to use that 3-step. I'm going to stick that down there. You can see my microphone. Stop sharing. You're going to use that 3-step process. What did I do? I went to the app and I clicked on lesion scan and I gave permission for my camera, but it's using the wrong camera and I would like it to have a flip camera button. So what did I do? I went to the lesion scan and I clicked allow camera. What happened? It used the front camera, and I want to be able to use either the front camera or the back camera. That is the 3-step process that is in that video that I was just talking about here. So let me put the URL for this video. Everybody, whether they know about the 3-step process or not, should watch this video. It answers so many questions. And the reason I actually spent about half a day creating this video, it's even got graphics. Look, little cars without details. I spent about a half a day creating this video because this answers about 80% of the questions I get on a daily basis. 80% is prompt better. And I know that's going to get tired if that's all you're old every time you hear it, but it is exactly the answer to 80% of the questions I get. The beginning of this video, where is it? It says, have you prompted? It didn't work. My app is broken. You still haven't fixed it. These prompts are absolutely useless and just costing you money to let off steam. And I get it. It's frustrating when you ask it to do something and it doesn't do it. But if you use that perfect format, you're going to get much, I'm not going to say perfect results. You're going to get much better results than you're getting right now. Okay, I've lost my questions and answers section. Give me 1 second. Here it is. I found it. All right. Is the membership for the club an additional fee yes. So I don't work for Famous. My product is completely separate to Famous. So, basically what you get is access to me to be able to ask me questions, access to my tools that I've created to make your life easier in the Famous ecosystem, and then access to the private section of my Discord channel. So Isaac, if you're in the lobby, you need to send me a private message with the special code that you get when you join. And then I move you into the private section where I jump on your questions a lot quicker than the lobby, which is full of tire kickers and so forth. So I've answered Bessie's question. No, it's not part of Famous. And I've answered Isaac's question. Awesome. All right, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Are there any other quick questions? Where do you find the Discord code? When you join the club, which is $27 a month now, it just got reduced by $20 a month to $27 a month. I want to make it accessible to everybody. You get an email once you join to the email address you join with. So make sure you join with a real email address, and that email has the code in it. Okay, and that gets you into the private club where everyone is a member and everyone's helping each other out. Okay, and I've done everything to make that as accessible as possible. For those of you that don't know, in April of next year, I know that is a long way off. It's like half a year away. I'm going to be organizing, or I am organizing, an AI app builders cruise. This cruise is going to leave from New York. It's going to have 6 days at sea. And the nice thing about 6 days at sea on a cruise with Starlink, Elon Musk's internet, is you don't have anything to do but eat nice food and work on your apps. And what we're going to do is we're limiting it. I was going to limit it to 30, but I'm now limiting it to 10 people. And so only the club members are going to be invited to come along on that cruise with me. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working every day for 6 days. Yes, we're going to Bermuda and hopefully back from New York. So in the terms and conditions when you sign up for the cruise, you're in Bermuda? That's awesome. And oh wow. Could you not come back, or are you stuck there? Does your family know where you are? Right. Okay. All right. My humor isn't working. Um, yeah, so we're going to Bermuda in April. It's the last week, the last Saturday of April to the first Saturday of May. And so we are going to be having an amazing time. There's going to be set sessions where you have set time with me. There's going to be set group sessions. Um, so here's how it's going to work. Rich, funny you should ask, and thank you. And I do need to go because I have a client who I start with in 4 minutes, but I'll quickly cover it. We're going with Norwegian Cruise Lines. I love them. I've actually got 2 cruises booked with them, in one in November, one in December. What I'm doing now with my own time, I'm taking a week out every month to go on a cruise and to basically work on projects for my clients so that I can't be disturbed by other things. It's I'm so looking forward to it. The first one is Thanksgiving week. Anyway, Norwegian cruise, you book your own cruise room. So you can decide if you want a single room, which will be about $1,500, or the owner's suite at $35,000. That's up to you. And then the cruise itself, the part that to be with me is going to be $2,997, and you basically will have access to me or a tenth of me for a whole week, and we are just going to do nothing but work and create fantastic stuff. And so, like I say, it's going to be that's why I'm going in November to test it out, Janelle, is to see whether my prompting and my cocktail consumption is going to be okay. But my focus is purely on getting the absolute best out of that week. I'm also, after this first cruise in November, that I'm doing by myself, going to look at telling people, publicly announcing what cruises I'm on in January, February, and March. And so, although there won't be any structured stuff, it could be that you could come on those same cruises and just work alongside me, not with me, but alongside me for those cruises too. So November's is going from New Orleans. December's is going from Galveston, just south of Conroe, if our Conroe friend is still here. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. Anyway, guys, I have enjoyed today. I hope I didn't lose too many of you with the technical side of things. But if you have any questions, go to my AI App Builder site and book a call with me, and I'll help you out. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing time. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.